folks, so I guess I'm gonna save Reaper last, but I hadn't talked about this one a lot. I did one video I think on it, and yeah, that's pretty much the last time y'all ever heard from the Mowbul. I gotta refix the lights on it. The little lenses fell off, but yeah, I got white in this one, red in that one. They flash. Stupid battery died. I'm gonna try to put this back on. Don't mind this duct tape. I had that just to keep the glue on. But yeah, that's the front of it. Racing style bumper. Because this hood, I had to cut it some because it broke at the bottom. So I just pretty much cut the bottom out. And yeah, custom bumper, pull bar on the front. Since it's a Mowbul, we gotta have the bulls on it. This is a one drive, well, one speed with pretty much is an F&R I'm using, because I think it's more simple to drive. That's just my opinion. So it got a 2 on the back, 5 on the front. So I should get quite a bit of speed out of it with a modified ungoverned engine. I have brakes. They're not disc brakes. It's one of them band brakes. It should do. I have my overflow. Well, it's not overflow anymore because my carburetor that I had on it kept pissing me off. Because I used to run this carburetor. This is a 28.5 Mikuni style molt. It actually kicked butt, but I think it had some problems with it, so I got another modified carburetor. It's pretty much modified regardless. But yeah, let me take the hood off and yeah, stay tuned. Alright, so the hood's off, broken, oh well. But yeah, what the heck? It's freaking granddaddy in there. But first I'm going to start with all the engine mods I did. First of all, since I left off with the carburetor, I put a new carb on it. This is pretty much a stock carburetor, but it's also modified because I sent it, I'm sitting on this lawnmower tire so I can actually focus. What I did is sent it off to Cohen's Racing. They rebuilt it, cleaned it, everything, and he also drilled the jet out so I got more fuel, so it should be the same as that Mikuni carburetor. Hopefully it will have the same power band as it. I still got to hook up the throttle. Here's the slot from the Mikuni. Figured out this cable here was too small, so it's whatevs. This is my vacuum hose that I might need to hook back up to my secondary pump. But yeah, this hooks up to the intake, and from there it goes to my boost pressure gauge pretty much. I go in there, I'll show y'all when we get to the electronics and stuff. Got my catch can. This is filtered. There's a filter inside this hose. Well, it's right up in here. Choke rebuilt because it was broke. He put a new one on. Pretty much switched everything over. Fuel. Second, here's an air pump because the gas tank's in the back because I don't have no room. This engine here used to be on the Reaper, but I wanted a bigger engine because I'm running bigger tires and it's pulley swap, so I need that power for that motor right there. So this is a 14.5 Briggs & Stratton OHV. Couple mods did to it. It's internally ungoverned. We took all the internals out. It is ported. We ported the intake and slightly ported the exhaust side, so it should be pretty even. That's pretty much it. Pretty much it's just freshly rebuilt. It was factory because it still had the factory gaskets and stuff. Never been taken apart because it still had all the stuff in it. So it is freshly rebuilt. It does run. If I can find that video of it running, I will put. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It is straight piped. As you see here, the pipe goes there, goes into a bigger pipe. and my monstrosity tailpipe. I'm going to trim it down so it doesn't look like a racer, because I do not want to look like a racer. Tires are 16 by 6.5. Wait, no, 15 by 6.5 by 6s. This is 18. Yeah, 18 by 8.5 by 8. I want it to go super small because I just decided to go small with these tires. Just because they're small and they have barely grip, so that means more drifting. Why I put this wing on the back? Well, here's the problem. Since this thing's this is the frame that my friend Mayhem built, but he didn't like the frame, so I wanted to redo my racing mower, because I used to have a cart frame for a racing mower and I didn't like it. It just looked ridiculous, so I asked him for this already built frame. He gave it to me for free. What a good guy, because he built him another one. So I put all my touches to it, and that's how it sits. Actually, there's actually a video of this thing actually rolling. If you look at I think it was called A Day with Mower Mayhem. It's like in the wintertime when he built this frame. I was there when he built it, and it used to have a V-twin. It was belt to chain driven, which is, I thought that was too ridiculous for me, so I just went straight to just straight belt driven. It should be the same pretty much. But like I said, why I built this wing on the back? The main reason, like I said, because it's so small how you built it, there's pretty much no room. Yes, I could have put it right there, but I really didn't want to, and I seen Matt Mike's RX-7, and that's how I got the whole idea of Mowbul. And I seen how they had their battery and gas tank in the back, so I said, hey, why not? So it's supposed to be, I forgot what you call those things they put on the bottom of their, it's not a canard. Shoot, put in the comments what that thing that hangs down the car is. I literally forgot what's the name of it. But yeah, I put the wing on the back just to make it look pretty cool. Make it look different from every other racing mower pretty much. So the battery goes there, fuel tank's there, and that's ran by that pump up there. And just in case if I run out of gas with this big thing, I got gas constantly flowing to this pump. Well, to this pump, to that tank. Because there's the hose right there. I guess next is electrical. So, I'm horrible at electrical, but I'm good at designing and stuff. So, what I did is pretty much know where I want my gauges and switches, and I just let pretty much my friend Mower Mayhem do the wiring, because he's the guru of wiring. And if you hadn't already, check out his channel. If you don't believe me, he's the guru of wiring. He literally wires almost everything. Screw a UFO, his lawnmower's a dang UFO, as many lights that thing has. But yeah, let's get back to this. So, Devin, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I just have to tell the truth. Your lawnmower does look like a UFO with all those lights. Just saying. But yeah, like I said, I got my boost gauge here. It does change colors, hooked up to the intake. So when you start it, it does vacuum. Then when it runs, it goes to boost, which is actually pretty sweet. Here is your power. Just letting you know you got power, how much power. And yes, this tack actually works. So when you start the engine up, the tack actually works. And this is my shift light. And since this thing's ungoverned, and Mr. Mower Mayhem does not know how to control his urge to rev it high as crap, I did this especially for him, which is the shift light. So if you go past this button, it'll turn red. Hopefully you can see it. I hope you can see it, bud. But yeah, that's the only reason I put that there, and hey, why not? This is your kill power switch. It'll kill the engine and put power through the whole mower. So 2 in 1 is pretty sweet, and I love to go cheap. So I made Well, somebody else made this. I forgot what his name is on his channel. He made a homemade tether kill. Did the same thing. Worked pretty good. So if you watching this, thank you for letting me save my own money. Thank you. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much all the stuff about Mowbul. Now it is time for the mascot of my channel, Reaper. So let's get started. Alright guys, this is the mascot of my YouTube channel pretty much, and that is Reaper. And this thing went through a lot of changes. I don't know how many times this thing changed. This thing changed more than a chameleon changed colors in one day. But I guess we'll start front to back. So pretty much we're just going to go to the front of this whole thing, which is the front. And I just wanted to do something different with the exhaust, so I did the crop duster style tips, because I've seen crop dusters do it all the time where it sticks out the side. I thought it was pretty cool, and I'm glad I did it because this thing sounds amazing with the new engine. And of course, Mower Mayhem, you're the only one who got the answer right, because you was the one who actually helped me put this engine in. So of course you pretty much cheated out the thing, which is you're the reason why I'm gonna wait last to show the video of this thing running. So good job to you, bud. I don't know why I'm trolling my friend right now. I just felt like it. But yeah, I got my small light bar here, big boy bumper here. This is actually a front end out of a Mary White Body LT. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Guess we open up the hood and see what we got on this puppy. And yes, I changed the engine for the second time, and it seems like I did a good job going back to Briggenstratton, because Tecumseh is a piece of crap. It shouldn't be Tecumseh. It'd be Tecums and the S word. Y'all know what the S word is. Tecums S word, pretty much. So this thing's now equipped with a 19.5 Briggenstratton turbo cooled IC Platinum Oppie Twin, and this thing sounds bad to the bone. Can we please get a sound clip of that? But yeah, she sounds pretty good. Like I said, when I had the other V-twin set up, since I'm running big tires, it kept getting caught on the exhaust, and it kept ticking me off, so I just decided to beep beep already out the tips. And you can see it actually sounds freaking good. We had this one on here, but it kept giving us problems. So my buddy Devin, he just came up with this. It's pretty simple. I'm not even worried about it. I'm just going to keep it like it is, because hey, why not? If it works, it works. And yes, that's a different gas tank, because if y'all didn't know, this thing literally exploded, almost blew me up. I don't know what that was. I had my hand in here, I heard a click, and it literally, I'm glad it didn't burn me, but it just pretty much burnt all the hair off my arm. So I was bald arm for the rest of for a couple weeks. I'm glad the thing is not fully hurt. It just hurt the gas tank. My train horns also got burnt up, so that means I gotta buy new train horns for this thing, because I used to have train horns on here, and the wiring was screwed and blah 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 blah. So yeah, so we took it back in, took everything out, and pretty much rebuilt this thing from the frame up for the second time, just to make sure everything was good. So that's pretty much everything on this. And yes, this engine will be modified in the future. I just kept it stopped to just test drive it, make sure this thing drives good. Which is, speaking of driving, I still forgot about the setup for my axle setup. So I seen a lot of people modify the steering, but not like I did it. Everybody use front ends at ATVs, which is, I like to go the cheap route. So what I came up with was gut the inside out. I mean, cut one side out and cut another side out of the steering, and gut the middle piece out and put bolts in the front, because these things already came with bolts. Put bolts in so it actually has independent front steering. And since I did that, I had to come up with a shock setup, so I just used bike shocks pretty much. Got your bracket here with some thick steel, so that shouldn't break or bend or anything. And yes, this thing is very stable, and that's what I'm glad of, that it can hold this big chungus of a machine up as it is with all this weight. 'Cause this thing at least weighs 100 plus pounds, or maybe 200, because this thing I can use to tip over all the time. Now I can barely even tip it over anymore. So yeah, I'm just glad that setup actually works pretty good, and it sounds like it drives a lot smoother. It doesn't shake a lot like it used to. But the tires I'm running is 22 by something by 8s TSL Mudlight, and how my buddy told me these tires are super rare for an 8-inch rim, which is, I don't know, I guess I'm the last one standing with these tires. It's not a much more without a gas pedal, running gas pedal to the factory throttle, which is, I'm going to delete that probably in the future so I can go back ungoverned, because I'm more used to going ungoverned, and it's hard on me to drive some governed. Trust me, once you go governed, it's hard to go back. I mean ungoverned, and it's hard to go back governed. That's why I hope I said that right. But yeah, I used to have the pretty much quote-unquote H-pattern type shifter, if you call it, and it kind of kept breaking and it pissed me off, so got back to the old just regular shifter. Since the other engine was oil pressured, this one's not. I just kept that in there just to keep it in there. As you see here, that's proof that I don't have no train horns, because there's a giant hole where the switch used to be for the train horns. So this is my kill switch. That's my headlight switch. That's your start right here, waterproof start. This is what you would see on a race car. It's pretty much a race car power switch, and a useless choke. And this is what I never see on a mutt mower, is a race pack, like I said, race pack style dash. And yes, it works. If I put the key in and flip it, I don't know if y'all can see, but you got your voltage there, speedo right there, and yes, I'm running speedo, and it works pretty good. It actually tells, I already checked it, and it's actually accurate. And that cable goes down to right over here. So yeah, this thing has a speedo on it. I got axle supports, because a lot of people told me to put some sort of axle support, so I did axle supports. This is comes with MST 205. It is locked. Well, yeah, it's pretty much straight axle. There's no spider gears whatsoever in this setup. It's the Dock Locker 1.0, where you just got the, it was actually cheaper, so I just might as well go the cheaper route with this thing. So in here, there's no whatsoever spider gears. It's actually just the little pin just driving it on a shaft, pretty much. It does have bearings in it. I heard bearings is the best way to go. I gotta tie this filter up. This just keeps the transaxle cool, pretty much. I got this seat for $5. It looks old, but I like it because it makes this lawnmower look older than it actually is. With this hood, that's why I pretty much put that on there. And yes, I flipped my tires backwards, so it has a wider stance, so it actually looks a lot better, because that used to be sunk in, that used to stick out. I didn't like it. I went pretty much even with the front tire, so I just put that one, well, that one is supposed to be over there, and that one's supposed to be over there, so I just flip-flopped them, and it looks pretty good. I gotta re-tire letter it, because the thing looks better with tire lettering. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I have my little compartment here. I got 2 compartments. This is my chain and gasoline oil compartment. And this compartment here is for my toolbox. So yeah, I got the side bars just so stuff won't stab me in my leg and make me cuss like a sailor, because of course if anything stabs you in the leg it's going to hurt like crap. So I don't want to cuss like a sailor. So that's why I put those on here. This back bumper slash rack thingy is actually a front piece off of a Craftsman lawnmower. You know, they come with these curvature type bumper thingies. So that's what that is. Got our mounts here, and you can see it's moving the whole frame, so that's not going anywhere. This back plate, I really don't know. See there, you know, it's Reaper Boy Customs lawnmower. If it has the X on it, I still gotta put an X on this one too. That's just my trademark of knowing which lawnmower this is. Just by the X, every single mower I had an X on it, just to symbolize Reaper Boy Customs lawnmower. I never seen somebody do that, so that's why you see an X on most of my mowers I had over the years, because that just symbolizes Reaper Boy Customs pretty much. Since we have to put the power switch right there, we have to delete the parking brake, which is, this is our new parking brake. It's just a hook that hooks down there. All you gotta do is mash this, bend over, flip that, and boom, you're golden. We can't forget the oh crap bars. So I got the oh crap bars, and same way as that one, this one is also pulley swapped, but it's not as severe pulley swap as that one that can go like who knows how fast. This thing kicks up 20 to 22 horsepower. I mean 20 to 21, no, 17 to 22 miles per hour, just because of the lower slash higher gear ratio. It's pretty much a tad higher, but not too overwhelming fast of a gear ratio. I'm running big tires, and you don't want to go too fast with big tires. It's common sense. But the ratio I got on this thing is pretty much the pulley swap sizes is stock, let's say 4-inch pulley, 3.5, which is stock. You can tell this is stock pulley because you can see it hanging down. I might need to cut that off. I might re-pulley swap it when I get back used to driving this thing. I probably put like a 5-inch on the front or a 6-inch. That's probably going to be in the future. But in the back, instead of a 9-inch, it has a 4.5-inch, which is, I still want my torque band, which is, this thing still has the torque. Like literally, this thing can wheelie up. Like, I had it up there, and first, I accidentally dumped the clutch and just wheelied up this hill. It scared me half to death. As it was going, it was still wheeling. I was like, can you please sit back down? So yeah, this ratio here is good for, like I said, if you're running big tires and you want to keep your torque band but still have speed. This is a good ratio. But like speed, you don't need a 2-inch on the back and a 5-inch on the front on a big monstrosity, big chungus lawnmower like this one. So that's why I kept this one super slow and make that one super fast, because that's what that one's made for. This one's not made for speed. Well, none of them supposed to be made. Both of these supposed to be made to mow grass, but hey, why not go cheap and build something yourself so you can actually have fun and be proud of what you built. Yeah, that's pretty much it on the updates of these 2 troublemakers. Especially this one. This thing been a troublemaker since the rebuild. Now I'm glad, I guess it got out of its troublemaker stages and actually been a good boy, so that's surprising. And last but not least, you can't do YouTube without your big old GoPro mount, where I can mount you guys like that so y'all can see outwards and all the stuff we have to go up against. And maybe, hopefully, once I put a new belt, because this thing shred the crap out of that belt because it's way too tight. That was the closest belt to let me drive home, because it stopped it, but it still wanted to go. It just shredded the belt half to death. And somehow my stupid transaxle is leaking again. Great. But yeah, guys, that's the update for the 2 troublemakers pretty much. I know a couple of you hadn't seen a couple lawnmower videos, update videos in a long time, so I just wanted to change that. You know me, like I said, I don't want to do lawnmowers, more of that. I really want to try to make this an all-round channel, do different stuff, just keep it interesting. Nobody don't want to look at lawnmowers every single time. I know that's why I started out, well, I started out doing stupid stuff, then to lawnmowers and stuff, and educating people, which is, I'm surprised that my education video, how to build Reaper Unstoppable, got almost 2K views, which is surprising me that people actually want to see my stupid video that was actually stupid. But yeah, guys, I know it's hot as balls out here. That's why I'm sweating like I am.